Hello friends, now this tutorial is continuing to part data architecture. Now until now just um, void add function is remaining and everything is completed, making the database, store procedures, variables class and registration form. It is all completed. Just now what you have to do, on the submit button, whenever the user will click, all this value, user text box, email text box, will passes into username variable, and these are the object of the variable class. Now these are the variable classes. Now these variable classes will be submitted to employee function. Means we have to generate insert query. So for that we have to use SQL query. So just use SQL command cmd equal to new SQL command. As you know, we are using store procedure. So just click on the store procedure. We have already created a store procedure. It will take a little bit time. Here it is. Now these are the parameters. So just first of all, add the store procedure name over here. The name of the store procedure should be same. Add am. First of all, it should be in the quotation. Add. And now here the object of the connection. This. And now it is a store procedure, so we should have to define it. Command type is equal to, just copy and paste this, command type dot store procedure. But here we have to use the reference, so just right click on it, go to resolve, and we have to use system dot data. It is present into the system dot data. Now just click. It is store procedure. Its type, it is store procedure, as we are using store procedure. So now command dot parameters dot add with value. Now as you know, we have created this variables object that is over here. Now it is filled up with the text box value, so we have to use that value. So just use the object dot, first one is username, and here the parameter should be same as over here, @username. Now just copy and paste. There are over 7 parameters. Now second one is email. Date of joining and type. Also type address, phone, gender, email. Now it is completed. Now the next step is that we have to call this function, and we have created this function. Now we have to call, we are calling this function on the registration form. Actually over here in the business layer, in the business, what is the function name? Add. And actually it will create a circular problem. We can't use, for example, I'll show you. We have already used the business layer reference over here, so we can't use data layer reference over here. It will create an error. So I'll show you. It is showing that it will get circular dependency, means both are dependent of one another, so it is not possible. So we have to call this function over presentation layer, over submit. Now over here we have to call, I think here something is missing. Gender, type, date of joining. Date, what was the name of the date time picker? The name is dt1. dt1 dot values dot to short date string. Just completed. Now we are using this data layer employee function, so we have to use, first of all we have to include it into the business layer, into the presentation layer. So data layer reference, data layer, just click OK. Now after here we have to use using data layer. Now first we have to understand the logic. We are just it is not difficult, just we have divided the part, because in the huge mega project or huge company the project are divided like this. It is a simple. So now just it will just check it out. Function add. Sorry, first we have to create the object. Employee f dot add, and what we have to add here, the requirement is variable object, means all this object we have to add. So just copy this object and paste over here and finish. Just look, something is remaining, just build it. And last one, just write down the message box. This is another problem is that first we have to set whether check the which project is at beginning. Business layer, no, we want presentation layer. Apply. Okay, just click. Yes, just write down the name. Just check it out. Yes, save successfully. Let's check whether it is saved or not. Oh no, not this one. Here it is. I think there is some problem. We haven't saved DSL. Let's check one more time. No, no, just check one more time. So let's check what was the problem. We will debug. Just keep over here and just click start. print F10. Now press F10. Null. Address bar and date of joining null. Everything is okay. Okay, so there is a problem is that so there is a silly problem, small but that it is we haven't executed the command. So just connection dot open cml command dot execute non-query connection dot close. Now just start. There is no need for debug. Now just look at it. Here it is. Now first understand the logic. What we are doing, we have just separated all the logic plus SQL queries and the presentation layer. So in the huge company, the pressure or the performance should be in the should be not into the only just one server. So the all this data type layer are divided into the many servers for to load down the issues or the pressure onto the single server. But that's why first of all we have created all these variables objects into the business layer. It is the logic of the business now. And what we have done in the registration form, we have called that variables. Here it is, we have created the object. First of all we have to include the reference of the business layer. Here it is. Now after creating object of the variables, username, user, and filling all the text box value into the variables object. Now the second step is done. Now all these variables are filled up with the text box value. Now this value you have to call into the data layer. In the data layer we have all the SQL query store procedure functions have been created. Now this is a simple simple function So we have included the reference of the business layer here. Sorry. Now what we have done, now using this SQL command, we have filled up all the name of the username, this variable object, here it is. So we have filled up this into the username parameter, and all this email, gender, phone, all this we have filled up into the gender parameter. Now this we have filled up all this into the add employee store procedure. All these are filled up into this add employee store procedure. In the now this is the store procedure. In the second or third part, I created this store procedure. It is a simple, just a query over here, insert into employee, the column name and the parameter. The parameter should be same. So, and after we have executed, now after creating this function, we have to call this in the registration form, and lastly we have called the function. We have created included the reference of the data layer. Here it is, data layer, and using system and using the namespaces, and creating the object of the employee and add, and it is it will show the use one of the parameters, that is object, and object of this we have to include here. So it is a simple subconceptual. In the huge company there are several layers like variables or functions and many other layers. So this is a simple program. Hope you it will help for your project to understand the 3-tier architecture, because in the big company it is required, and I hope in also your project it will help you. And also one of the necessary thing I will show you over here. No, I think so over here. Over here, yes. You can see this is too much long path, and if you change the database path, then it will create problem. So just do one thing, just select this project, click over here, show all files. It will show you the bin folder and object folder. Create open the bin folder and debug folder, and now just move it employee database over here into the debug. Say yes. Now what you have to do, just remove this all.